I'm going to bring on the panelists so that we can wrap this all up. The moderator, presenter of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, great broadcaster, master compere. Please a round of applause for Frank Edoho. Also on this panel, multi-award winning Nigerian musician, one of the great beneficiaries of, the monetization of the advent of telecoms and monetization. Please, a round of applause for Inyanya. I didn't say scream, I just said a round of applause.
Leave them.
Inyanya has that effect on the girls them. Also, a talent manager and head commercial of the Temple Management Company, Fela Curry. Fela, okay, sorry. This is the point where that old age is catching up and okay, I can see clearly now. Corey Johnson is not here. ID Kabasa, is he still here? Wow! This is the man that created an evergreen monster album, the Gongwaso album. ID Kabasa, Lord of Ajasa. ID Kabasa was so popular that even in the mosque, they thought he was one of the, always call it Alhaji Kabasa. Alhaji Kabasa. Okay, is Kobams here? I've not seen Kobams. Kobams was supposed to be on this set as well. So, Frank?
Yes, please.
Frankly speaking, you can go on.
Thank you, TA. So guys, we all listened to Alex when he gave his presentation. And I'll come to you, Alex, because what intrigues me is, since everybody is a potential producer, given the vast opportunities that the internet and, of course, telephony offers, I would like to start from the viewpoint of music. You understand? Our music is our best export. Nigerian music right now, I mean, we don't export raw materials, we don't export products, but our music can speak for us anywhere. Our music and football. But I would want to start from ID Kabasa and tell him and ask him what goes into the mind of producers when they are working on a project and saying, how do they know if this is right for the world, taking that content of ours, making it acceptable worldwide?
Okay, thank you, Frank. Sincerely, to know what is on a producer's mind is like trying to make me God, but I can actually speak for myself. When you say what should make something world class, listening to Alex today is more like a reaffirmation of a whole lot of thoughts that have actually been going on in my own head. First and foremost, I think what's actually gives us that authentic self is the story we are telling with our content, which unfortunately is one of the few things we are losing. A lizard in Nigeria will not become an alligator in America. That, if we understand, you will understand that what really sells. We got into the industry at a point where we had this issue of keeping it real. Now, the definition of keeping it real to people was a problem of you saying you have to do it the way they do it in America. That is what is real. But I feel being real is being yourself, being your authentic self, being able to tell your story across board And if you look at it from the music perspective, when you want to create music that is real for a Nigerian, it's simple. First thing that you will, if you ask me who I am, obviously I will tell you my name, which is a function of where I'm coming from, which is my culture. And one of the major things about your culture is language. I can categorically say here that hip-hop in Nigeria would not, in fact, if I could steal this your slide, I will. You know when you said we must evolve with audience? Unfortunately, people want to create authentic stuff, but they want to evolve with themselves, not with the audience. The audience don't understand your I'm gonna. Because you are starting from here. There's a local proverb that says in Yoruba, that you, whatever you want to give to the world, you start from where you are. Now, when you say class, we try world class. Sometimes we get to misconstrue it for the language. But it's more about the quality that you are putting into your content, about the story you are telling, about how you are doing it. We started the Yoruba rap thing, a lot of Ajasa and all of that, and I remember that people never supported us. There were some of the guys in the industry that would say, no, this is not how you do it. They didn't want it to evolve. But over time, a lot of Ajasa, Da Green took it, Lamide, and some of these guys, they are being patronized abroad. And I can use D'banj as a case study. D'banj came from London. He was still doing the Nigerian sound. He came here, he traveled abroad, he took the Nigerian sound, and people accepted it. I know of some people that will tell you that we do good music, which is relative though. They tell you they do good music, they take it out, they do R&B. Can you do R&B more than R. Kelly? You'll get stranded. So I think just being your authentic self is what makes point.
Can't. All right, now, because of time, I have to. There are so many questions. I want to ask follow-up questions, but let's hold that thought first. Let it marinate in our minds. Let's go back to Alex. Now, Alex, you said that everybody is a potential producer. Now, I'm speaking on behalf of the audience that is there. This kid is armed with a cell phone. He has a cell phone, but he has a lot of talents to show, whether be it through skits, through videos that he recorded and probably edited on an app with his cell phone. The content is there, but the problem everybody has is marketing. I know you're coming from a larger scale. Now, let's go down to that perspective of that common man trying to look for a foray into fame and success. How do you market your content at a small level?
When you say marketing, it sounds like it's such a sophisticated ideal that you have to call these people together and brainstorm to come to the marketing. You know, I think Basketball said it earlier, and it was said in the earlier panel. You're armed with a phone. You have data. You can load up your content on whether it's YouTube, whether it's you have on social media. There's no other marketing budget that is as powerful as that. Right? So for me, put the best of you into that content and then let it fly. If it's good, you will get the responses. If you get the responses, they will come and find you. But you cannot sit at home and say, I want to be on a TV show. I want to be a presenter. But you don't even go and interview your sister, your brother, your cousins, people on your street, and put it on social media so that when someone is looking for a presenter, they have nowhere to look. So for me, when people start saying it's a marketing or I have not been given an opportunity, what I'm saying is that in today's world, you have all the opportunity that is available. You don't even need, quite frankly, to arrive at MTV's door first. If you are good on digital, MTV will probably come find you. And that's how it works. And for me, that's where we need to stop with the barriers and understand we have the most powerful platforms in the world today to be able to showcase our talent.
Yeah, from what you're saying, that means if you have the content, just be consistent with it and make it very good. That's some things that some people don't understand. And use the opportunity you have, you know, A perfect example.
If you had everyone in your street, or at least all your friends, just follow the content, tweet about your content. You may even start trending.
It may start trending.
But people don't think about that. The hustle is not there. They're waiting for someone to knock on the door.
That's it. Like a perfect example was the incident that happened here. Dude stands up, says he's a rapper, then comes here. He has the opportunity in front of an entertainment conference to blow, then
in front of Enyanya, in front of all the label owners.
In front of all the label owners. That means even though he wants to change his mind and go back to music later, they'll be looking at him like, hey, you had your chance and you blew it. So the young people, the people that have content, you have to be consistent with that content and put it out there. Let's talk about talent management. Talent. You are well known in that regard. Now, tell me, it is okay to manage talent for the rest of the world to know true talent. I believe that the true talent has been undiscovered. The people that know, I was passing by, there was a certain lady, she said she's a singer. I said, oh, okay, tell me about it. And she said she has a song. Then I said, okay, I'm going to listen to it for 15 seconds. And I'll tell you because I'm a music collector. I listen to all genres. So, right there and then, 15 seconds, I listen, and she sounds wonderful. Wonderful. Now, if you are into talent managing, you are already managing talent that has been found. When the real talent is also out there, are you looking on both sides of the fence? Are you looking inwards and also outwards with an eye to say, I'm looking for the next big thing, even if I'm managing the big thing?
Right. Thank you. First of all, I want to quickly congratulate Alex on the MTV story. 12 years, it seems like a long time, but you know, they've opened the doors for us to get our content out there. And I think that's a massive, massive thing that MTV has done. So give him a round of applause, everybody.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
You know, thanks, Frank. You know, people always say, are we looking for the next big thing? It's relative. We're looking for talent. You know, and most in Nigeria and most of Africa, everybody thinks they have talent, which is a great thing. But I think there has to be a degree of honesty within yourself. It's like fashion and style. You know, one is external, one is internal. You know what I mean? If I have style, that's an internal thing. And if I follow fashion, that's very external. And Alex also touched on it, that we're always looking for someone to put us on a platform or to help us market. If you really, really believe you have talent, I think you just got to get out there and put that talent. I mean, the proliferation of broadband, mobile, you can put your talent on so many platforms that companies like the Temple Management Company will find you eventually.
Justin Bieber was found on YouTube,
you know,
right?
Yeah, and everybody always, you know, uses Justin Bieber as the example. But there's so many other examples. You know, you don't have to be managed by someone like the Temple Management Company for you to be successful. You can create your own story. You can be independent with your music and still be successful. So, no, we're not looking for the next big thing. We are looking for talent that, of course, we can market, we can sell, and we can, you know, make them successful in their own right. And I think that's where we start from, in an industry where, especially in Nigeria, that it's vast. The opportunities are vast. You see what the comedians are doing on Instagram and social media. You see what some musicians, like my good friend here that we manage, Ianya, see what they're doing. You know, if you really have that talent, you just got to get out there and put it out there, and companies like ours will find you.
Okay, so far, what we have derived from this discussion so far, I got from Kapasa, he said, nobody can market your content for you. You have to be original, and the content has to be from Africa in order to rivet eyes on that particular content. Our local content, we call it local, not because of the standard, but because of the location. Now, also, I got from Alex that in terms of marketing, you have to be consistent with all those, you know, your talent distributing your talent on social media. Be consistent. And when it's so good and it's trending all over the place, the marketing will find you. Well, from Fela, he said that, they're not necessarily trying to discover the next big thing. So all you have to do to be discoverable is to expose yourself. Then we can get the talent that we used to miss many years ago. And that is the talent that will eventually represent us on a world scale. Now, let's turn the Clyde lights to Inyanya. Let's talk about Inyanya. Inyanya, actually, all these aspects, he has done all these aspects. He is a great recording artist in his own right. Inyanya has trended in terms of many, many aspects of entertainment. When he first came out with his Kukere, he had been singing before then, but he had consistency. And before you know it, he became a household name. And also, he did not renege his footsteps in being consistent. Now, Inyanya, I want you, from the artist perspective, from the performer.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Inyanya. I want you, your music is national. Most people know Inyanya. Now, if you were to take that music and provide entertainment for the world, are you ready to do it? And if you are ready, how do you want to present yourself and advise the music industry to take the next steps towards taking over the world?
Yo, first of all, I want to say shout out to everybody for coming out. You guys are awesome. Yes. Bro, we are doing that already.
Okay.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
The world is coming to Nigeria, coming to Africa now because African entertainers are putting in so much work. You get what I'm trying to say? So every time I travel for a show, I have a concert or a tour, when I go there, I'm Inyanya from Calabar. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't go to America and compete. I don't go there to compete with the Americans. You understand? So I go there, I represent Calabar. I'll give you an example. Kukere, right? It's still one of my biggest songs. It was inspired by my people. It was inspired by my culture. So I was in Lagos, in this same Lagos. The R&B no be small R&B.
Okay, before
Kukere.
Yeah, we used to see you in hot sweaters in South Africa, right?
So
you produced. What did he produce for you? You produced R&B. ID Kabasa produced R&B for.
Yes. But immediately I did Kukere. Everybody just fell in love with it. And I tell you this, and I want to also encourage people out there, never think that nobody's watching. You get what I'm saying? I feel like that's the reason why most people give up. I wake up in the morning, and sometimes when I'm bored, I just go to Instagram and I watch some of these new comedians, and they don't even know I'm watching them. So you need to keep working. So to answer your question, we have to stay original, and that's what I do. Every time I'm in the studio recording, I think of the people. Shout out to Jazzy, shout out to the Mavens. The new EP just came out, Signature EP. Every time that we're walking, Jazzy goes, "Don't forget the people. Don't forget the people. You have to give the people what they want. Don't forget the people."
Beautiful.
Yes. So that is this. Everybody sitting down here inspired this brand sitting down here. You get what I'm trying to say? Because when they love it, we make money. When they love it, they buy tickets. So yeah, that's it.
Oh, beautiful. That's very, very, very. Please feel free.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to be rounding up now, but let's talk. One thing that impressed me from that video, I remember that making the video project, I remembered it. But when it happened, it caused the development of our videos. It made our videos more qualitative. But now, what is the continuity? You're talking about being consistent. You just can't do something like that and leave us hanging. I think it is the opportunity that we need to know more. It's just, you bring a bunch of talented music video directors to come and school us, but there has to be an advanced course. There has to be an intermediary course that will take us to the next level. Because we in Nigeria, one of our sins, our recurrent sins, once I know how to handle it, there's no need to learn anymore. Like I told someone earlier, Steven Spielberg, a cinematographer, is still reading books on cinematography. So what is your company doing? Do you have anything like that in the works to follow up to that great project? Yeah.
Look, I think that we do it on a consistent basis, whether is we run around our MTV Africa Music Awards every year, a workshop for at least 500 students, and we bring in a diversity of people from, we've had people from the guy who manages Snoop Dogg to, people that manage great talent, to also people that do merchandising, from management to every single aspect of the music or creative space that are part of that workshop. So we do that on a consistent basis annually.
Okay.
Through our other channels, of course.
Right.
What's great now is that beyond music, we know with BET, we're doing reality shows, we're doing dramas, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
But I think that conferences like this, Neclive, is a great platform to learn. So I think the breakout sessions were great because I think people get to learn. So for us, we served as a catalyst. I think that we now have maybe 20 music video channels in Nigeria. When you play a Nigerian music video, you couldn't tell if it's from the US or from Nigeria because the quality is so great, and that's what makes it travel so much. Okay. So I think that, we will continue to be able to do the work, but I think that, everyone else who is contributing to this panel and the conversation we're having now is what's going to elevate the industry to the next place.
Thank you. Last words. How do we provide entertainment to Africa? Just in a few words. To the world.
To the world. I mean,
yes.
I think everybody has said it on the panel. Yeah. We got to be true to ourselves. Our content has always been interesting for an international audience. Sonny Ade had it back in the 80s when he signed with Island Records, or Bay signed with Virgin Records. So it's not a new phenomenon that they're coming and looking for our content. And the reason they came was because international audiences, the West, have always been interested in our culture. And that's pretty much the crux, and we've just got to stay true to ourselves. Stop trying to, you want to compete with Tupac, Biggie. From a hip-hop perspective, you're Nigerian. You can't go to America and compete. Everybody has said it. It's like me trying to go to Germany and trying to compete with a German speaking German. I can't, it's not possible. So I think, as Alex, Inyanya, Heidi Kabasa have said, and Frank, is for African culture, African content to continue to grow the way it's growing, we've just got to put our content, put our beliefs, put our culture front and center, and they're going to come and find us. We're only going to grow. Next 5 years, there'll be people winning Grammys, people winning Oscars, and they'll be from this continent. And you can quote me on that.
All right. ID, talk to us. Last words.
Okay. To a whole lot of young guys that are out there that want to come out and put content out, I would say you need to check why you are doing what you are doing. Traction, that's what we look for when we put out content. Okay. It's either you're looking for popularity or acceptance. I can assure you, you can get popular without putting out musical content. All you need to do is just to remove your clothes and go naked. You'll be popular. No, I'm not. Not like that. Then
see these girls. Remove clothes. The first thought that came, half naked.
Obviously, somebody has been. So also, the second part is to be accepted, which is what tells your true story. There are artists that are popular, not accepted. There are some that are accepted, not popular. Then the big ones are the ones that are accepted and they are popular. Acceptance comes from, which is traction. Acceptance comes from the authenticity of the story you are telling. It comes from if you want blow, you can blow. Go to Bono and just shout, praise God. You will blow. But if you want to stay, be accepted, the content you are putting out, please, if I can beg, make sure it is authentic. I don't want to know good content, they are relative. To an American, Fuji is trash. But to us, Fuji is king. then package the Fuji in a way that an American will understand. And I'm sure by the time they see that, it becomes, that music is very hard, the same way jazz is to us. So.
All right, Frank. Thank you very much. Oh, you want?
What do you have? Is it because of the half-naked thing? Why don't you want to hear from him?
Okay.
Huh?
All right. Yeah.
Make him talk, Shay.
Yeah. To everybody out there, just keep working, keep believing, be original. You know, it's time for us to go back to shooting videos with our local attires. You know, the world, they want to hear the congas, they want to hear our bass guitars, the rhythm, they want to hear the lead guitar. So let's go back to being original, and trust me. We're number one right now. Trust me, we're number one right now. Nigeria is number one.
Tia.
All right, thank you very much,
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being a part of this very interesting session. I'm sure some of the ladies are probably waiting to see if Yaya might want to give them one off. Yaya, I want to take off the... Oh. Please.
Backstage.
Are watching.
Backstage.
Children are what? Backstage. This program is general viewing. Please don't take us to plus 18. Thank you very much. I'm going to ride on precisely where ID Kapasa left. He mentioned Fuji music, and it's so very coincidental that the next session we have is about a man who took Fuji music from downtown Lagos Island and completely refined Fuji music as we knew it, and has taken it all over the world. He's probably one of the most traveled band leaders across Africa. I've seen him perform at international concerts with his band, and it's amazing because what amazes me during his performances is the reaction of the so-called white people, is the reaction of foreigners, basically, because they don't know what they say. I'm looking at, do these people understand what Alaji is saying? But they are so intrigued and fascinated by the sound. Obviously they see the guitars there, they see the congas, they see it was the first, the person who introduced what's it called, saxophone into Fuji music. As in the combination of that sound, like a 22-piece band, orchestra playing in sync and delivering quality music. And that is what I'm going to have all of you, just experience here. He's going to share his experience. Thank you guys for being a part of it. Please, a round of applause for the panelists.